Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Tiffany Brown. I am a proud member of WeGotUsNow's 2020 Actionist Inaugural Cohort 1, the founder and executive director of Developing Despite Distance, a nonprofit based in Detroit that supports young men of color ages 10 to 24 who are currently impacted by parental incarceration. And like our panelists today, I too have experienced parental incarceration. It's my deepest honor to be in this virtual community with all of you. Before we introduce our amazing panelists, for those of you who are new to We Got Us Now, welcome. We Got Us Now is a national nonprofit advocacy organization built by, led by, and about children and young adults with incarcerated parents. Through advocacy, storytelling, and robust programming, we aim to build awareness about the issues children and young adults face as a result of mass incarceration. Our mission is to eliminate the trauma, stigma, and shame associated with parental incarceration and amplify practices and policies that help keep families connected, create fair sentencing, and end mass incarceration. Our flagship initiative, the We Got Us Now Actionist Leadership Program, was designed using a strength-based approach to provide leadership development, advocacy training, tools for civic engagement, and social emotional support for directly impacted daughters and sons with a proven commitment to reform the criminal legal system across the country. To learn more, please visit www.wegotusnow.org. Everyone, please share with our audience your name, the city you represent, and share one positive word that describes how you're feeling today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Desiree Soto, and I'm from the Bay Area, but I'm currently located in Wailuku, which is in Hawaii. And one word to describe how I'm doing today is feeling full, feeling pretty filled right now.
Thank you, Desiree. Xavier?
Hello, everyone. My name is Xavier here. I'm actually from PG County, Maryland. I've lived all throughout PG County. And today I would say I'm feeling pretty optimistic.
Thank you, Xavier. Yvonne?
Hi, everyone. I'm Yvonne Hendricks, and I am from Hartford, Connecticut. One word to describe how I'm feeling right now is I'm feeling very powerful right now.
That's beautiful. Thank you all. So life happens, and oftentimes we as young people, we get sidelined by distractions. We allow insecurities and other people's priorities to overwhelm us, while also sometimes completely getting in our own way. As daughters and sons who experience parental incarceration, there's an added layer of circumstances that can be emotionally crippling to our motivation and our willpower. The thought of creating your own lane can seem like a huge leap of faith that can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Creating your own lane doesn't mean you control everything that happens to you. It means completely moving forward with your goals, values, and priorities while embracing change as an inevitable part of life. Yvonne, let's start with you. Can you please share one core value that you set up in your life and explain why it keeps you motivated towards reaching your goals and priorities?
Yes, so I would have to say generational wealth really motivates me in all aspects, financial, academic, and wellness. With financial, like I want to be able to leave behind money for my future family, but that also leads into academic, where I want to learn more about how the world works, how finances work. And then that also just leads into wellness. Like I want to be able to heal my generational trauma and familial trauma that my family has accrued over time and be able to work through that. So I would say generational wealth really, really, really motivates me.
Wow. Thank you, Yvonne. Xavier? Can you just share one core value?
One core value I would say that I really have that motivates me would be taking pride in myself and taking pride in everything that I stand for and I do. And I would say that motivates me in several different ways, allowing me to not shy away from my purpose or what I feel like, is my objective and what I'm here to do.
Thank you. Desiree?
I think the biggest motivation for me is my faith and my hope in my future, and just trusting that God has a beautiful plan for my life and everything that I've like hoped for and dreamed of, like I have now. And so he's not going to fail me. And yeah, I just use that as motivation because he's never failed me and he won't now.
Yes, I love that. Everything you need, you already have.
Mm-hmm.
So as individuals who experience parental incarceration, we are extremely resilient and imaginative in our approach, oftentimes becoming very good at creating something out of nothing. So Desiree, can you tell us about a time in your life when your ability to be imaginative, resilient, and resourceful supported you on your journey?
Yeah, I think in my most recent transition, moving here from the Bay Area and moving away from my family and my job that I had, that was a huge like leap of faith in itself, which was super scary. And I felt like I didn't have much lined up because I didn't take, I guess, like the safe route. Like I didn't have a job lined up when I moved out here, but I know that this was part of God's plan because I had this on my heart to move out here for like years. And when an opportunity presented itself, I just like had to run with it. And I knew that it'll be scary, but over time, like things would fall into place, and everything has so far. And so I know that I made the right decision. I just kind of had to, trust that that things would work out, and it has. So yeah.
Wow, that's inspiring. It really is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yvonne, how about you?
I would say I kind of look at the bigger picture for my life and really like externalize what I want. And that's just being like strategic in every move that I make. So strategic and intentional. Really looking at what I'm studying in school and undergrad and when I got my master's, making sure that's going to benefit me in the long run, just in case something happens, that I'm able to be in Connecticut and still work, or I'm able to be in the Bay Area and still do what I love. I think also just making connections with people and really building those bonds. I'm such a relational person, so really connecting with people because you just never know what resources they might have up their sleeves that they can share with us. So really making those connections, but also just being intentional in the way that I move. Yeah, so I would say that.
Thank you. At We Got Us Now, we recognize that the trauma, stigma, and shame from parental incarceration can create self-doubt when it comes to new experiences. Therefore, we affirm that we are the collective authors of our personal narratives, and that speaking, writing, and praying are some positive examples of transformative coping strategies towards overcoming self-doubt. Xavier. I founded Developing Despite Distance, a nonprofit in Detroit that supports boys and young men of color ages 10 to 24 impacted by parental incarceration. And a huge part of our work is helping them identify new positive coping strategies. For those young men listening to our discussion, can you share an example of when you experienced self-doubt? What transformative coping strategies have you used to curb that self-doubt? And what advice would you recommend to those young men for increasing their confidence?
I would say a time that I experienced self-doubt was actually, I feel like the first time that I experienced real self-doubt was when I was in college and when I got injured. When I was playing, I went to college for football. I got injured. I tore my shoulder. I tore one arm in high school. I tore my opposite one in college. So after that, about a year later, I found out that my team doctor recommended me to medically retire. So at that point, I felt like I was really at my lowest point in my life. I was lost. I didn't really know. I knew football was going to end for me soon, but I didn't really know what I was outside of a football player or an athlete. So like, I was really having a lot of self-doubt, or really just, I would say I was just lost and confused. And I wouldn't necessarily say it was just self-doubt because I was also confused. I didn't know which way my life was going to go because football was all I ever did up until that point. So kind of what I did to cope with that was just try a lot of different new things, different things that I never thought I would try. For instance, it's actually how I got the job, how I do what I do now for a living. I ended up working for a junk removal company. I worked for a landscaping company, knew that wasn't for me. I just did a lot of different things, tried a lot of different things out, see what was for me, what wasn't for me, other than sports, because that was no longer an avenue that I had.
Mm. Thank you for that, Xavier. Creating a vision for our lives is a creative way to take back our personal power as daughters and sons impacted by parental incarceration. Visualizing the experiences we want to have in our own lives can help us get closer to how we want our own life to become. Yvonne, on your journey, you've shattered the narrative of what it means to be a daughter of incarcerated parents. Can you share what personal power means to you and share 3 tools or strategies that you've used to help you map out your goals and create your own lane?
Yes. So personal power is what I can control and the ability to take control over my life. That's what I would describe my personal power as. I feel like the tools that I've used to get me where I am is I manifest. I do a manifestation list at the beginning of a new year, but I also do one at the beginning of my birthday, starting out that new year. And then, the next birthday, I open up and see what I've checked off on that list, and it kind of ruminates to be able to then look at the new year and say, oh, all right, I need to add these things to my list. I also like to vision board, make some vision boards. I really like to externalize all the things that I've written down and be able to find pictures or words that really resonate with me and be able to make it look nice so that I can actually see it as a vision of mine. And lastly, I would say I like to dress the part. So if there's something that I'm really looking forward to or wanting to achieve in my life, I'm going to dress up as if I already have it, be out in the world presenting myself in that manner so that I actually get what I've manifested. So really doing all 3 of those things really help me get what I need.
Yes, as you should. Thank you, as you should. Okay. So our We Got Us Now community is steeped in the belief that responsibility for our well-being is self-care. We also recognize for each of us that self-care can look different. But as a community, we acknowledge that self-care begins with taking inventory of our lives and being honest about what we can and cannot control. Desiree, throughout your trailblazing journey, what leaps of faith have you taken to eliminate self-doubt? What advice would you give our We Got Us Now community about being responsible for their well-being and stepping out on faith into new experiences when they may not be sure if they quite fit the bill?
I think something that has been beneficial for me in these last, I guess, few months and this year is being able to rely on my community and to reach out to people, because even though like we are responsible for our self-care, doesn't mean that we got to do it alone. And I think some of my self-care is just like checking in with my loved ones or my friends, but also getting like feedback from people like with what I want to do, because I think the things that I've accomplished or that I want to accomplish, I have a different perspective now, but like about like who's going to be there once I accomplish all these things, because I came to a point when I was like, okay, I have everything that I wanted and dreamed of, but like now what? And so as I approach new dreams and goals, I like consider like who's going to be with me, who's in my canoe. That's what we say out here. So yeah, I think relying on my community.
Thank you. Many people get stuck talking about their dreams without ever doing anything about it. Often, we'll wait until we feel inspired to take action, but the truth is, inspiration often comes through action. As We Got Us Now actionists, we thrive on taking action in our personal lives and our professional lives. That's our personal power. Xavier and Yvonne, both of you are entrepreneurs and have experience with starting your own businesses. Remembering your dream of starting your own business and creating your own lane, trace back to where you are now. Yvonne, let's start with you. What inspired you to start your own business? And can you share one piece of advice that you wish someone shared with you prior to you successfully creating your own lane?
Yes, so my business is almost a year old next week. So I am just really excited and proud of myself for actually doing what I said I was going to do. I think the reason why I started my business was because I don't want to work for someone else. I want to work and do me on my own timeline. So I just started small with one business. And eventually I'll build onto that, but just kind of getting my feet wet with one thing. So I'm super excited about that. And I would say my advice as a business owner is that you just have to go and do it. Like, get out there and do it. Like, you might not know everything, but you're going to learn a lot. And I know a lot of people say, like, you learn in your first year. You actually do. You learn in your first year, you make the most mistakes, and then you're able to recover from that. So I would say just go ahead and do it, as my advice.
Thank you, Yvonne. How about you, Xavier?
I would say what inspired me to really go into the entrepreneurship route would be so growing up, my mother who raised me was always really business minded. My father, who was actually incarcerated, was always, even before he was incarcerated, he was business minded. So it was just like I was always around it. So it was just it poured into me, and then I wanted to make a lot of money. And not saying that all businesses do, but I found a way that I felt was suitable, and that I didn't even know that you could make a lot of money with removing junk. So that was a completely shock to me. But yeah, once I found that out, I was amazed, and this was something I really knew I wanted to do. But some advice that I would say is is to never really listen to other people, consider what other people say, but never listen to other people. Because I know for me, I experience this every day up until this day, and I'm sure I will experience it more in the future. But people tell me like things that sound impossible to them, but very possible to me. And then it's like, I know that I can't listen to those people. It's my dream. I gotta live with the consequences to my decision. So I gotta go ahead and make my own decision.
I'm connecting to Desiree's "Who's in My Canoe," as you say that, right? And surrounding yourself with people who understand that vision and can support you and encourage you in that way. Wow. I just want to say that the three of you all are just beautiful, brilliant, bright examples of what children of incarcerated parents and young adults of incarcerated parents really represent. And I'm honored to be able to lead this discussion today. Wow, just thank you so much for sharing a bit about your journey and how you are continuing to create your own lane. We absolutely cannot wait to see you all continue to soar and shine like just the beautiful stars that you all are. To our new friends and longtime supporters, we ask you to consider donating to We Got Us Now this holiday season by purchasing one of the hoodies that you see Yvonne, Desiree, and Xavier wearing today at our online shop, or clicking the donate button to support future actionists. Thank you so much for your time and your commitment. And thank you all so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.